Hello, I'm Mario Anderson, and we thank you for joining us today on In Focus Kentucky, where we take a look at issues that matter to you. Each week we talk directly to the lawmakers and people in the community who help shape policy and law that affects you. On today's episode, we are continuing our series focusing on mayors of different Kentucky cities, and Linda Gorton easily breezed through her 2018 campaign to become the mayor of Kentucky's second largest city, and she just started her first term as mayor, but she's not a newcomer to public service. She previously served 16 years on the Lexington-Fayette Urban County Council before taking a 4-year break from public service in 2014. And in January of this year, 326 new mayors in the U.S. took office, and according to Medium.com's Bloomberg Cities, Linda Gorton was named one of the nation's 5 new mayors to watch. Mayor Linda Gorton, we appreciate you joining us today on In Focus Kentucky.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
And we want to first ask you about that Bloomberg Cities that listed you as one of the top 5 mayors to watch. Hearing that, and give you any extra pressure getting back into the role of public service?
Well, it was a surprise to me, and it didn't really give extra pressure. I was surprised, and just knowing people are watching is kind of an interesting thing, you know, but I don't pay a lot of attention to that sort of thing in my day-to-day work. You know, I just go about my work.
Well, let's talk about your new line of work that you're doing. You, as we mentioned, you served 16 years on the council. You're vice mayor, and then you decided to step away. But now you're back, and you're the mayor of Lexington. What is it about public service that made you want to get your foot back in the door and continue serving?
Well, I so love Lexington, and I do believe in good public servants. And elected officials have such great opportunities to affect their city or their state, however they're serving. And I had lots of people encourage me to do this. And so it grew on me and became a good fit. And I thought I could do a really good job for people. So I ended my grandbaby sabbatical and threw my hat in the ring, and now we're here.
And let's talk about the transition process. How has it been? Obviously, you replaced Jim Gray, who served as mayor for 8 years in Lexington, and 4 of those years you were serving as the vice mayor. So how has this resettling process been during this transition time?
It's been really good. Jim and I worked together for, well, really, when he was vice mayor, I was at-large council member. When he was mayor, I was vice mayor, his first term. And so we knew a lot about each other, and were friendly to each other, and it's been a very smooth transition. He was extremely helpful to me and to my administration getting going. So I've kept a few of his folks who were really good, and then hired a few new folks. And so we have kind of a blend of administrative folks who are in there in the mayor's office and commissioners. So it's been really, I believe, a very smooth transition.
And talk about, too, being able to keep some of the past members of the staff or commissioners. Why was it important for you to want to keep some of those people that were previously involved in your new administration?
Well, I think that, first of all, if someone's competent and does a good job, I want them. And so I know that some mayors get rid of everybody and start a clean slate. But I felt that if I understood how this person works and they were good, then I wanted them to stay. And it gives a lot of continuity, Mario. I mean, there is a lot going on in the mayor's office, so it works well that way. We have a blend of new and experienced.
Now, you recently delivered your State of the City address, or as you refer to it, the State of the County speech. Lexington is known for its urban and rural areas, and they do typically have different priorities. So, as a new mayor, and how do you keep the balance of satisfying both rural needs, but the urban but also downtown parts. How do you kind of navigate those waters of prioritizing where you need to address issues?
Well, it's a challenge every day of keeping the balance. We are a unique community in this way because there are not a lot of merged governments where the city is the only city in the county. And there are some merged governments where there are other cities in a county, but just one city merges. And so it's a balance every day, looking at the needs of the rural folks, whose needs are many times very different from the urban and suburban. And as we grow, and we're growing very regularly, consistently, it becomes even more important that we focus on the needs of these different entities that we have. A lot of cities don't have a rural component, you know, they're just the city. And so we're really lucky, I think, to have all of that in one big, neat package.
Well, Mayor Gorton, we appreciate you joining us, and we're going to continue our conversation with Lexington Mayor Linda Gorton coming up. But first, we're going to get a check of your latest weather forecast coming up in your Weather on the Ones after this break. We'll be right back.